Good morning, how are you? I'm here again to answer your questions. Many are sending questions after reading this book. You are the universe, discovering your cosmic self and why it matters. And as I've mentioned before, you can send any question on any topic. And the place to send your questions is info, I-N-F-O, at jayo.com. Once again, the place to send your questions is info at jayo.com. info at jayo.com. And by the way, while you're at it, you could download the app. The app is Jayo. The app, once again, is Jayo, J-I-Y-O. The app is free. It has hundreds of meditations. It has a faculty of yoga teachers, breathing experts, stress management experts, nutrition experts, relationship experts, and of course I'm also the curator of the faculty. So do download the app Jayo, J-I-Y-O, and as I mentioned, it's free. Okay, so today's question is from Manav Singh, and here is what he asks. Hello Dr. Chopra, my name is Manav Singh. I'm from India. I've always heard people tell me to be positive because they say it will help in wiping out negativity out of my life. So my question is, why do I attract so many negative people even if I'm positive? Thank you. Okay, so this is a very good question because even though many people think I advocate positive thinking, it's not something I do at all. So let me explain. Silvana Stumpf, you mean Jayo? G-I-Y-O? G-I-O? No, I mean Jayo. J-I-Y-O. I thought I spelt it. J-I-Y-O. That's the app. Okay, so just to reinforce, I have never been an advocate of positive thinking, and I'll explain to you why. So here is the reason. Any forced attempt to change your thinking will cause you to feel stressed. Once again, any attempt to control your thinking or control your mind will cause you stress. Okay? So if you're having lots of negative thoughts and you resist them, they'll get more powerful. Why? Because, as you've heard the expression, what you resist persists. So please don't interpret anything I say as meaning positive thinking. I think it's much more important to be natural than to be positive. Once again, it's much more important to be natural than to be positive. So let's examine this in great detail. And we'll do that in 15 seconds as soon as I come back. Okay, I'm back. So before we talk about positive versus negative thinking, let us see the dynamics of how a thought is produced. All thought arises as a result of the interpretation of past experience, particularly the experiences we've had as a child. So if as a child you were surrounded by parents and siblings and family that basically were always complaining or condemning or criticizing or playing the victim, then as a child, your neurons will mirror their neurons, and your neural networks will align with their networks, and your thinking will always be in terms of criticizing, condemning, complaining, and playing the victim. On the other hand, if you're surrounded by parents and siblings and family that are always looking for opportunities, where other people are seeing problems, where they are in a frame of love, kindness, joy, equanimity, compassion, empathy, then as you grow up, you will also have that kind of thought process. The thought itself is the end result of past experiences and how we interpret those experiences. And so it's automatic. Okay, it's in Sanskrit this is called sanskara. Sanskara is the seed of past memory that creates present patterns of thinking. Those patterns of thinking are pretty automatic, so you don't actually control them. And if you are always kind of having what are called negative thoughts, they are the result of as I've said so often, conditioned thinking. So how do you change that pattern without forcing yourself to be positive? How do you change that conditioned pattern without forcing yourself to be positive? Because in many spiritual groups, this is a phenomenon that is called mood making. What is mood making? Mood making is that you're making a mood of being positive even though you're feeling lousy. So once again, mood making is you're making a mood to be positive even though you're feeling lousy. So here I would suggest that you engage in reflective self-inquiry. So that means ask yourself in silent meditation, who am I? What do I want? What's my purpose? What am I grateful for? And when you engage in that kind of reflection automatically, then your thinking is transformed. Automatically, your thinking is transformed. You live the questions, and then life moves you into the answers through situations, circumstances, events, relationships, etc. So that's one thing, reflective self-inquiry. The second thing you can do is practice being a silent witness to your own thoughts. So remember, your thoughts are objects of experience. You're not the object of experience. You're the subject, which is having the experience of those mental objects that we call thoughts, feelings, and emotions. So once you start to take a stand, I am silent witness, and when you become the observer of your thoughts without judging your thoughts, then a very magical thing happens, and that is there is a change in your pattern of reactive outcome. There's a change in the pattern of your reactive outcome. And once there's a change in the pattern of your reactive outcome, then you're not reactive in a so-called negative way. Somebody is asking about affirmations. They have some role, but I don't think that's the most important thing. Okay, so this is called the highest intelligence, the ability to observe your patterns of thinking and behavior without judging them, and this automatically leads to insight, which changes patterns of thinking and behavior. Okay, so that's the second strategy to change patterns of thinking and behavior. The third is the practice of any mindfulness technique. So, yes, Daniel Jacob Glenn says be non-reactive. And how are you non-reactive? You observe your reaction to react. Okay? Okay, let's go to the third. Mindfulness practices, mindfulness or vipassana, observing breath, observing sensory experience, sound, touch, sight, taste and smell, feeling the sensations in the body, feeling even internal space, visceral space. It's called pratyahara, withdrawal of the senses, and looking within, being aware of the ecosystem of relationship. This leads to what is called insight. Insight is the literal translation of vipassana. Vipassana is the technique of silently observing experience, whatever the experience is, sensory experience, bodily experience, experience of internal visceral thinking, visceral sensations, silently being aware of the web of relationship. Okay, that's number 3. Number 4 is what I call cognitive therapy, which you don't need to see a therapist for, but you can actually do it yourself. And one of the things that I strongly recommend is the techniques that have been popularized by the teacher Byron Katie, Katie Byron. People refer to her fondly as Katie. And she uses a very simple method. When you have a thought, a limiting thought or a limiting belief, then you ask yourself, you first write it down, you ask yourself, is it true? Then you ask yourself, am I 100% sure if it's true? And then ask yourself, what is this limiting belief doing to me? Ask yourself, who would I be if I didn't hold on to that belief? And then ask yourself, who would I be with the opposite of that limiting belief? You see, in none of these things you're forcing yourself to think positively. You're having deep insight, and that is what it means. Insight, inner vision of your mind, and that in itself will show you that you are not the mind, but the awareness in which the mind is an experience. And finally, just number 5, if I'm counting correctly, just sitting in stillness in the state of being. Okay. So my experience with positive thinkers is that very frequently they are very stressed, and they also become exasperatingly positive. They become Pollyannas, always giving you this idea of forced change in thinking. Well, I hope that is helpful, and Manav, don't listen to people who say be positive all the time. You know, even after all these techniques that I've suggested, once you do that, let it go. Maybe spend a few minutes every day in reflective self-inquiry, and then after that, be natural. And there's nothing more attractive than a person who radiates simple, unaffected humanity. like children. That's why we find them so attractive. Okay? So beware of those who are stressful, positive thinkers. Take care. See you tomorrow. Once again, download the app Jayo, or even go to the internet and download jayo.com free, and you can send me questions at the email address info@jayo.com, info@jayo.com. Thank you.